All right, so we're looking up causes of alcoholism and addiction. So I propose the question: what are the primary causes of alcoholism and addiction? Is it genuine curiosity for experimentation, lack of discipline, inability to self regulate, lust for instant gratification? Is it an insatiable need for more stimulation or satisfaction? What is the underlying cause of addiction or alcoholism? How many addicts or alcoholics drink or use because they feel alone? How many feel alone because they lack proper social skills or deviate too far from social norms? Is the underlying cause of addiction or alcoholism the disconnect people feel with the world around them? If people seek to disconnect, is that less because they have too much interaction overall and more because they have too much negative interaction and wish to escape because there's little or no positive interactions and they want to compensate for that by isolating to a place where it is relatively better or not quite as positive but no longer negative either? How many people become addicts or alcoholics because they choose substances that make them feel better in the short term but are more costly in the long run as an alternative to interacting with others and potentially being rejected or ridiculed or whatever external or internal issues or stress they may be experiencing? Is the underlying catalyst for this social disorder rooted in the inherent and ubiquitous human pursuit of hedonism, pleasure, instant gratification, etc.? Gemini responds: primary causes of alcoholism and addiction are complex and multifaceted, stemming from an interplay of genetic, biological, psychological, and social factors. There is no single underlying cause. Addiction is recognized as a chronic, relapsing brain disease. Your suggested causes touch on several contributing psychological and social components, but none alone fully explain the disorder. Primary causes of alcoholism and addiction. Addiction is often explained by the biopsychosocial model, meaning that these factors interact to increase risk. There are several biological factors listed here. First one is biological or genetic factors. Genetics account for 40 to 60% of an individual's vulnerability to addiction. People with a family history of addiction are more likely to develop one themselves due to differences in brain chemistry and how they process pleasure and stress. Psychological factors: underlying mental health conditions are a significant cause. Addiction also co occurs with trauma, which is past experiences of abuse or severe trauma, with other co occurring disorders such as conditions like depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, or post traumatic stress disorder, in other words, PTSD. Substances are used as self medication to temporarily alleviate painful emotional symptoms. Environmental or social factors: the environment heavily influences risk, including family dynamics or lack of parental supervision, family conflict, or parental substance use or abuse, early exposure, beginning substance use at a young age, chronic stress and poverty, high levels of stress and lack of resources or opportunity. Evaluating your proposed causes. Your questions pinpoint specific psychological mechanisms involved in the development and maintenance of addictive behavior. We have a list of proposed causes, roles in addiction, and explanations. So, starting with genuine curiosity or experimentation, this is a starting point. Curiosity drives initial use, especially among young people, but it is not the cause of addiction. Addiction is the compulsive, continued use despite negative consequences. Regarding lack of discipline or self regulation, this is the role in addiction. This is a symptom and contributing factor. Addictive substances hijack the brain's prefrontal cortex, or PFC, which controls executive functions like discipline and self regulation. The impairment of the PFC makes self regulation incredibly difficult, turning lack of discipline into a symptom of the brain change caused by addiction. So, how about lust for instant gratification? This is the core mechanism. This is central. Addictive substances provide an intense, immediate surge of dopamine, the pleasure and reward neurotransmitter, satisfying the hedonistic pleasure pursuit instantly. This process trains the brain to prioritize the substance over delayed natural rewards or relationships or career success. So, how about insatiable need for more stimulation? This is related to tolerance. This reflects tolerance and dependence. As the brain adapts to the high stimulation or dopamine, it requires more of the substance to achieve that same effect, leading to an insatiable cycle of escalating use. The role of social disconnection and escape. Your deepest inquiries focus on the role of social isolation and negative interaction. Whoa, there it is. Research strongly supports this as a major psychological catalyst. Feeling alone or disconnection. While there are no hard statistics on how many people drink only because they feel alone, loneliness, alienation, and social anxiety are recognized as extremely potent risk factors for substance abuse. Substances temporarily fill the emotional void and lower social inhibitions. Social skills and norm deviation. It responds, yes, people who feel alienated because they lack certain social skills or deviate from norms may choose isolation. Substance use then becomes a shortcut. Escape mechanism, or as an escape mechanism, it is easier to chemically escape the pain of rejection, ridicule, or social incompetence than to engage in the hard, emotionally risky work of connection. Good point. Alternative reward. Substances offer a predictable, potent reward or relief, whereas social interaction offers an unpredictable reward and carries a risk of pain. The underlying catalyst is the disconnection with the world. The disconnection with the world is often the psychological fuel. People seek to disconnect not simply because of too much interaction, but because they have a disproportionate amount of negative or inadequate positive interaction. The substance provides a temporary, reliable feeling of the better than negative neutrality, stability, or false positivity. The search for immediate pleasure or hedonism is the underlying mechanism that the substance exploits, but the emotional pain, often rooted in trauma or disconnection, is frequently the initial catalyst that drives a person to seek that powerful instant relief. All right, yeah, that was really, really, really good answer. Very in-depth. Love it. All right, we got to figure that out. So we got to solve substance abuse issues so we can get people more productive and happier and just all around better. That is a complex topic. That's going to take a while. We'll get there. We're working on it. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you get somebody sober? One day at a time. Here we go. We're on it.